How's it going, Blues fans? My name is Nico Pauly, creator of the Blue Lou blog here on YouTube and on Instagram as well. And the St. Louis Blues took down the Chicago Blackhawks today 4-2 at the United Center in the first game of the Dad's road trip this season. They are now 8-1-1 in all-time Dad road trips since the tradition started in 2015, I believe the stat says. So, yeah, coming into this game, we already know what the dealio was. We had a tough game against the Nashville Predators last game, 8-3 loss. So, what happened that game? St. Louis Blues didn't score early. What happens when they do score early? A perfect 8-0 or 9-0 at the time. If you want to be honest, I don't remember, but they have a perfect record when scoring first. In Nashville, they don't score first, but today, they do score it first. Jake Neighbours gets a small little breakaway with pressure on his back, holds that puppy backhand, and pots it. Neighbours stays hot. This is his fifth goal in 6 games or so, I believe. Or fourth goal in 5 games. You know, the kid's hot. He's had a point in the last 5 or 6 games or something like that. Jake Neighbours has been absolutely hot, and him on this first line is looking fantastic. One thing I would like to note really quickly, the transition game for the St. Louis Blues today, fantastic. The cycle game was also pretty good, but the transitioning, breaking out of the zone and breaking into the O zone was fantastic. Because about 2 minutes after the Neighbours goals, Jordan Kyrou in his own D zone uses his tight edges along the boards to shake off the pressure of the forechecker and skates up, gets to the side, hauls ass past the blue line, gets this puck, just lays it up for Hayes, and Hayes lets this puppy absolutely rip short side, and now the Blues are up 2-0. The game goes on, and the longer the game goes on, the Blackhawks seem to get their feet moving. I'm not going to lie, the first half of this game, they were caught sleeping. They were really caught sleeping. But then, you know, they go down 2. The Blues are still coming, and then the Hawks are just like, okay, we need to start skating. We need to stay competitive and stay in this game. So the Blackhawks do that. Eventually, they pot one. It was a tip in front from Ryan Donato. You know, you just, in this situation for the St. Louis Blues defensively, you got to get these pucks out. I'm pretty sure this was just, you know, a defensive zone turnover yet again. And the Blackhawks did a good job keeping this puck in the zone and getting a high shot. Just throw it on net. Tip. And it's 2-1. This lead's been cut in half. The Chicago Blackhawks officially back in this game. But before the period ends, the Blues are gifted a power play, which they score on. Pavel Buchnevich is on the back door as Robert Thomas, not even looking at him, looking to the right side at the top right point, just throws it. Literally not even looking. Just, whoa. It was disgusting. You can check on my Instagram. I did it as my play of the game. You could swipe to see it on my latest post. Absolute freaking nastiness from Robert Thomas. And the Blues score a power play goal. So now, at the end of the first period, the Blues are up 3-1. Feeling really good. Honestly, it's feeling like there's going to be a decent amount of goals scored this game. Based off that first period, both teams were hot. They looked good. Binnington might let up a few. Soderblom at the start looked iffy. But second period starts, the Blues are sleeping. First 7 minutes of this period, of the second period, they are caught sleeping. There was one shift from the Hayes line where the Blackhawks kept it in the O zone, I swear to God, for a solid 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Our line was gassed. The Blues and Binnington did a great job, you know, making sure that nothing goes in the net, really. Binnington, this game was fantastic. You absolutely love to see it. And the first 7 minutes second, I can't wrap over my head how rough that was. And the Blackhawks had a chance to make this a tie game or, you know, a 1-goal game. But luckily Binnington and us as a team really stood strong. So after that whole mishap happens, the St. Louis Blues start to wake up. Now they start slowly coming the other way, getting some shots on net. Nothing I felt like that was too dangerous, but the more time runs down, the more dangerous chances the St. Louis Blues get. And this is where Soderblom woke up. So he's already getting some dangerous chances, making some big saves. Ended the second period, shot, or I don't know what the shots were, but still 3-1 score in favor of St. Louis. Third period starts, and boy, did chances go each way. Binnington made some fantastic saves on his end. Soderblom made some fantastic saves on his end. St. Louis Blues, I would say, could have had five goals total by the end of this game. 6 goals maybe by the end of this game, just based off the chances they had in the third period. because there was just some chances there was just like those go in, but their goalie stood strong, and I respect the hell out of him for it. And because of that, it was still a 3-1 game until the Chicago's defense has a defensive zone turnover based off the forecheck from Buchnevich, who throws it in front, and Jake Neighbours is all alone. Soderblom can't stop that one, and Jake Neighbours pots his second of the night to make it 4-1, and with about 5 to 6 minutes left to go. Shortly after that, Kachuk would get a really, really, really crappy breakaway, just because our entire team is kind of sleeping. Seriously, our entire team is on the left side of the ice, and Kachuk is by himself, far blue line, just waiting for a breakaway pass, and he gets it. And, it's just like, you could see the replay from the overhead of, like, Parayko and Leddy just sitting there, they're like, shit. Like, I gotta look like I gotta skate, so it looks like I'm trying, so I don't get in trouble. But, yeah, sucks because Binnington was playing such a fantastic game, and this does not help his stats, because I would love him to have better stats. So, yeah. Chicago pulls their goalie. They keep zone time. The St. Louis Blues don't even a chance at an empty net with about a minute or 40 seconds left. But nothing happens. Binnington stays strong. Our team stays strong, and we win this one 4-2. Again, noted it before. Jake Neighbours absolutely hot. Robert Thomas is looking great, and Buchnevich. This first line has been so good. Just Thomas and Buchnevich by themselves have been fantastic and superstars for this team. And Jake Neighbours is such a great compliment, because right now it feels like he's always in the right spot at the right time, and he always makes the right decisions. You can throw it on net, look for the pass. He knows what to do. He's such a smart hockey player. And that's why he pots too, and that's why he stays hot playing on this first line. Binnington, fantastic game today. Such a good rebound from the Nashville game, where he let up 2 to 3 goals in the relief of Hofer, and getting pulled in the Coyote game the other night too. So Binnington, another great outing, and I really like the line combinations this game, if you want to be honest. Verana had a couple of chances. He had a breakaway, tried slipping 5-hole, but Soderblom was hot, so nothing big there. Shan, I felt like, was a little shaky. Kapanen today, the effort I felt like wasn't there, but if he can start finishing, if he can mix skill and finishing, he could be a second line. He could be a second liner. And our third line, I really liked Saad, Hayes, and Kyrou. They scored the second goal this game, and this is all because of Kyrou. I felt like this is a step in the right direction, and I would love to see Kyrou stick with this line on the third line. I know Kyrou is not a third line guy, but, I mean, Chief could give them minutes of, like, a second line. They could really evenly distribute it, because I feel like those three, Hayes, Saad, and Kyrou, had shining moments and had chances, really good chances. So keep those three together. I thought they worked. Our fourth line, I felt like, was really lackluster, you could say. It's just, I don't know. It just felt like they did their job of just wasting time. They get pucks in deep, keep cycling it, wasting time in the third period. You love to see it. But Blais, I felt like, had a rough game. He was playing hard a little bit, but he got reefed a couple times. I don't think he's fully in it. But, yeah, that's it for the game coverage. And I posted on my story while I was working after the game, just like some thoughts that I can go over really quick. So, first one, I said, just give me your post-game thoughts. Nick V _7191 said Neighbours is scoring 20 goals. Baby, if you want to be honest with you, he's scoring probably 25, potentially 30, if he sticks up with this play and stays consistent. I mean, the chemistry between Thomas and Buchnevich is fantastic, and Neighbours is really just helping his own case, because he's, like I said, right place, right time at all times, it feels like. And he's a hard worker, and he's always been a hard worker, but now it seems like it's finally paying off. He's mixing a little bit of skill with speed, with grit. I mean, it's perfect, and I love to see Jake Neighbours keeping it up. And this goes to the next one. Matthew Treadway said, Neighbours over McDavid. So true. So true. McDavid's a bum. Jack.Dashney said, do you think Kyrou getting dropped off the first line will force him to step up his play? Somewhat, yes. The thing with Kyrou, I felt like he didn't belong anywhere in the two lines he was placed. With Thomas and Buchnevich, he looked lost. I don't think it was working out. He was trying too hard. He got a little nervous, lost the puck a lot. Wasn't going his way. The second line was Saad and Shen. Again, same thing. Not looking too good. But today with Saad and Hayes, I always felt like Hayes would be a good compliment to Kyrou just because Hayes likes to hold on to the puck. And if Kyrou could move around, gain some speed, get a quick shot off, it'd work, right? It'd work because Hayes loves to hold on to the puck. Just wait for Kyrou to do his thing, give him the puck, and just let him score, right? So I do think he's going to step up. I don't think it's just him mentally saying, I'm on the third line, I'm a bum. I think it's more like, hey, I finally know my spot and who I can connect with this team and really have good chemistry with. So I hope he likes his spot. I hope that's the mentality he's taking with it, but we'll see. We'll see down the line. NMAC_15 said, do you think Hofer and JB50 will both be Blues going into next season? Yes, for sure. Hofer is the future St. Louis Blues starting goaltender. The kid's going to be elite. It's like for real. Right now, I know he has a rough couple of games, but he's still 23 years old. He's the same age as me. He's still young. He still has a lot to learn. I mean, this is the NHL where players have been playing for 15, 10, 20 years in the NHL. They know how the game works. They know how to score goals. And you have to learn how to stop these goals, right? There's going to be garbage goals that he lets up, as we saw in the Nashville game. He will learn to eat those up later down the line. I'm not at all concerned with him. He's got the right size. He's got the right build. He's got the speed. He's got the skill. I mean, he's got everything to be perfect. And I think he's got a great mentor in Jordan Binnington in trusting. We saw today where Binnington was kind of trusting and reading the plays in the D zone really well. So Hofer has a good mentor in Binnington. Hopefully he doesn't get his hot head, but yeah, I think both of them will be a Blue next season, and I think we're probably going to be writing out JB's contract until the end, if you want to be honest with you, because that's when Hofer, I feel like, will probably be around 26 or so. So then he'll be in his peak. So then Hofer will be the starting goaltender. Maybe we ship Binnington at that point, but I'd rather keep Binnington as like a backup and keep him for the rest of his career, if you can be honest with you, because he wants to stand the cup. And the last response I got is, did we shut Bedard down or was he pressing? You know what's funny about this is Bedard wasn't really that noticeable, and I feel like he couldn't really get much. He had one good shot that went blocker side that Binnington kind of gave him, and Binnington made a good save with that blocker. Weak C kind of pointed it out too. Bedard, I felt like wasn't insanely noticeable, but like, I mean, these kind of games happen, and I felt like we played really good in the D zone at covering and making sure some of these shots kind of stay outside. So, yeah, Bedard, he just was a mix of shutdown, or I don't really fully know how to say it. I don't know how to explain it. I mean, it doesn't help that Taylor Hall's hurt, nor Corey Perry, and he's probably paired up against Robert Thomas, Pavel Buchnevich, and Jake Neighbours, so that does not help his case at all. But yeah, that's all the replies I got, and that's pretty much all I got for this video. I appreciate everybody for watching, subscribing, and liking, and if you would continue to do that, I would appreciate it as well. Shout out to my boy Connor. Connor's always watching these. Absolute beauty. Love the kid. And we will go golfing soon. Please make sure you check out my Instagram, @BlueBlog, and on Twitter. I never do it, or X, whatever. @BlueBlog as well. I always try and leave the link in the description, but it never works out because I don't know. Don't ask me. Next game is going to be Tuesday against a very, 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 very bad and struggling Minnesota Wild team, where they might be missing Goudreau, who might be getting suspended on a slew foot on Alex DeBrincat. But until then, I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Thank you all so much, and go Blues, baby.